Charisma Quotient. I'm your host, Kim Seltzer, a dating and makeover expert, where I will help you build confidence, make connections, and find love from the outside in. Hello, welcome everybody. We are here at Dating Real Talk, and I am so excited about this show today. I'm your host, Kimmy Seltzer. I'm a dating strategist, confidence therapist, and image expert. It's a mouthful to say. I help everybody look and feel their best so they attract what they want. And I have my lovely co-host here, Allison Melody.
Hey, good to see you guys.
She's from her own podcast,
Food Heals.
And, this is a show where reality TV collides with real life lessons. And I'm here to give dating advice along the way. And so this is what's so exciting about the show, because I brought you on because you're like the pop culture queen. And truth be told, like, I didn't know a lot about reality TV until you started educating me. And then I started getting obsessed with all the dating shows, of course.
Because who wouldn't?
Well, yeah. And then I was seeing that there are some real stuff going down in those shows that apply to real life.
Well, they all need your therapy, let's be honest.
Well, yes. And some of it's edited, but regardless, there are some real issues on there. And so I've always thought you were the queen until today.
Well, I'm the queen courtesy of people that I listen to, such as our guest today.
Okay, so we have a really big queen in the house who is the queen of pop culture. Guru, host of No Filters, Zack Peter is in the house.
Woo! Hello. Thank you guys for having me. Cheers.
Oh
This is like my football. I'm so excited.
I know, exactly. No, this is like the Super Bowl.
Yeah. The Super Bowl of our reality TV football.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. So I am super excited that you're here. And I actually been binging your show because I need to learn about the pop culture. I'm not up on all of it. So I'm sure you two will have a lot more to say, but I am here to give some life lessons along the way.
I could use some of those.
Okay.
Can't we all?
Especially when it comes to dating.
Well, yeah. And you have a new reboot of your show, Disaster Daters.
Yes, Disaster Daters. We're coming out with our third season this Valentine's Day. We're filming it right now. And that's where we just dive into the disaster that is my dating life, and people send in their stories, and we, try to laugh through the pain and hopefully come up with strategies that are a little less terrible than the last attempt.
Oh my God. Well, maybe by the end we can put you on the couch and then I can go there. We can do a little bit of therapy at the
Fingers
end.
crossed. Well, yeah. I could use that.
She does it to me all the time. It's not about that.
She's like, stop it. No,
she's like, I might buy. She goes, you do toss your hair. I go, I don't toss my hair as I'm tossing
and
my
every
hair.
time we go out, she tosses her hair.
I do
I'm
not.
like, Ellie, you're doing it.
Is that like a bad thing? It turns men away, or it's
it's
flirting.
on.
She said I'm flirting, and I'm like, no, I'm
Yes.
not. How dare you?
So it's a sign of flirtation, and it's often subconscious. And actually, men do that too. They'll play with their hair when they're interested. It's really fascinating.
So we want it to look good.
Yeah, and there's something about it, and they did all this research on it, and it's subconscious. But now I tell people to do it on purpose because it is a signal. And but you have to tilt the head with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a little.
That's it.
Oh my God.
That's it.
It's perfect. You've been practicing.
I do it all the time. But only when I look at myself in the mirror, not on dates.
Oh, actually, that's perfect for what we're going to do today. Okay, so to be continued. But I don't know a lot about you. Obviously, I know your show and everything, but I'd love to just learn how you even started your show and you got, into the podcasting world.
Yeah, I was doing stand-up. Well, growing up, I wanted to be an actor. I knew I wanted to be on TV, and I was just like, I'm, amazing as people that want to be actors, think that they are growing up. And so I was taking acting classes in college, and then I met other actors, and I'm like, oh, no, that's not the life for me. Like, they take themselves and their art and their craft way too seriously. Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't, And I think I got a D in acting class. And the last class that I took, I got a D because the instructor did not like me. Because for me, I gauged success based off of if I was able to make the class laugh when I was doing a scene. And he's like, that's not, you're not entertaining them. You're in character. Like, there are technicalities to acting. And I was like, this is not the life for me.
Yeah.
So I ditched that. I was doing stand up. And then there was this teeny tiny little podcast studio. First one ever, because like 10 years ago, nobody really knew what podcasting was, you know, and I remember trying to explain it to people being like, well, it's kind of like Netflix, but like on-demand radio, you know, and nobody really got it at the time. And I didn't even understand it, but there was this guy, his name is Mike Casantini, and he convinced me, he's like, this is going to be the future. And he had a bunch of comedians that were coming and doing shows at the time. And he was trying to sell me. And he's like, there's this guy, Joe Rogan. He just started taping with us here. And he's like gaining popularity. And I was like, the guy from Fear Factor, like, that's going to go nowhere.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And he was just like, give it a shot. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll give it a shot. I'll try it for a year, because he told me nobody makes it past. Most people don't make it past the first 20 episodes, and if you can make it past, and if you can make it past 20, you're in. And he's like, and the next is 100 episodes, and he's like, most people don't make it that far because they kind of throw in the towel. They realize it's work. They realize, you know, it takes time to build something, you know, and it's not immediate success. And I think the hard part is now we have like reality stars or actors or people that already have a built-in platform that start a podcast and they think that it's going to be great. And sometimes they gain success, or sometimes, you know, it's popular at the start, but they don't know how to sustain it. So I gave it a shot, and I would say for the first maybe 4 or 5 years, it was like total flop, you know, just really wasn't landing. I didn't know my voice. I didn't know, you know, what the show was supposed to be. And then eventually, as time went on, I learned a lot of those lessons, and I built it into, you know, what it's become now, where it's 5 days a week. We live stream on YouTube every morning. You know, we've launched product. I had a wine line. We have a merch line. I've done tours. Like, it's, you know, it's really grown into something that I would not have imagined 10 years ago.
It's amazing. No, that is, and why reality TV? Like, what made you decide to like go in that angle?
I mean, I've always loved reality TV. It started very generally pop culture.
Oh, okay.
And just because I loved pop culture, I grew up reading Us Weekly. So much so that in middle school, I created my own like gossip column. I was like Gossip Girl.
did?
You were the
Yes.
original. Oh my
I was an
God. You're the
OG Gossip
LA
Girl
Gossip Girl. Because there was a
before
New York
Blake Lively.
one. Okay.
Before-
You were the LA
Before
Gossip
Blake
Girl.
Lively, I was Gossip Girl. And so I made it on like Microsoft with like word art, you know, like the chunky, ugly words.
Yeah.
I did all of that, and I would have like little columns, and I would be like, and it was like printed out, because like it wasn't digital. Like we had flip phones.
Yeah.
Like you don't
Yeah.
have a magazine on a flip phone. And like texting 1, 2, 3. And so I would be like, oh, Stuart was spotted crying at lunch today. If you have a tip, send it in, you
Oh
know?
my God.
And then I got in trouble because I went to Catholic school, and gossiping is a sin. And so Darlene Melendez, who's like a news reporter in like, I don't know, Nevada or something now, ratted me out, and she took my magazine and she turned it into the principal and was like, he's gossiping. And I got in so much trouble, but I'm glad that I had our English teacher at the time, because that's where I was caught, was in English class. And she, Mrs. B, you know, stood 10 toes down on business. Mrs. B stood on business for me, because I think her name was Mrs. Butcher, but we called her Mrs. B. And
I love the details.
Yeah.
Like how you remember those things.
Listen, when you host a show live 5 days a week, you need good recall. And so she stood up for me, and she's like, well, like, this is really creative. And like, listen, like, it's actually impressive. And he wrote columns and he did all these things. So luckily I had, you know, Mrs. B that was kind of the buffer that prevented me from getting into bigger trouble. But we did have to have a lecture about how gossiping is not, you know, is frowned upon. And now I've built a business off of gossiping.
And then you turn it into a career. Just like Matthew Perry, like, didn't his teacher say, like, you can't make it being funny, kid?
Yeah.
And he's like, watch me, you know?
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
I love stories like that.
Well, it always comes from like the things that we've had adversity around or challenges with are the things that become our gift.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have a hot mess story. Most people know. We can share about that later. But so tell me more about the dating disasters or disaster daters. I keep like mixing it up. Like, how come you're rebooting it, and what, you know, tell me more about it.
So I tested it out 2020, like right before the world shut down. Valentine's Day, I did it with one of my friends because we just had really funny banter and we just had the craziest dating stories, like the wildest stories. And we were like, we should just put all of our best stories together in like 6 episodes. You tell a story, I'll tell a story, and we'll just laugh about it. And we'll just, put it out there on Valentine's Day just as a fun project. We did it. It went really well. And I think she still does podcasting. I ended up doing my own thing, but we did it that one time. And I loved the concept and I loved the idea so much that in 2023, I was like, I want to bring it back. And so I reached out to my friend Jeff, who is just chaotic and such a disaster himself, just in life and in general. I was like, would you? And he was just so good at podcasting and we just had really good chemistry and I adore him so much. And I was like, let's bring this back and are you down for this? And he was like, yeah. And so luckily I had worked out a partnership with Spotify and one of, my partners to this day, and I adore and love my team at Spotify. They let us come in and shoot the show in their studios. And so we launched the first season and it went really well and people really loved it and responded really well to it because we just both had the craziest stories and just fun banter, and people would send in their stories and we would bring in guests like reality stars to come in and share their crazy stories, and it just became a fun thing that we did. Launched it on Valentine's Day, similar, and then we did a second season over the summer and that was really fun, and we were gearing up for a third season, but the reboot is not as fun of a story, but unfortunately, Jeff passed away a couple months ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And that's kind of the challenge that I'm facing right now, because I was like, okay, well, we're still going to move forward with the third season. And in taping the third season, like there's just such a big absence that's being felt. And so I'm trying to figure out how to structure the show in a way that feels fun and fresh, that's still kind of true, but still honors him in a way. I got one of his main ex, the one that he was madly in love with, to come on the show and do an honor and tribute to him. So that was really fun to remember him in that way. So we're just trying to get creative with, but I mean, we have until Valentine's Day to structure it, but we've been testing out different things and having fun along the way.
I love it. I can't wait for it. And we might have some ideas.
Well, I just want to say, I have a friend that is the female equivalent of Jeff. And so, and I only know him from the show, but she was one of the original people that when I was starting my show, I was like, come over and help me practice this podcasting. And she was brilliant, but she was never like the entrepreneurial type to like set time, to do it. But she has the same personality as him and the chaoticness. I like, listen, and I sent it to her recently and I was like, I don't want to say her name. I was about to say it. Sorry. Marilyn, this is you. And she listened to it and she's like, that's insulting. It's totally me. And I was like, may he rest in peace. And I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
But it's very relatable is all I want to say.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Well, because I was wondering, what is one of those crazy dating stories that you remember that?
Well, I mean, this is a story that's going to come out on the new season, but I'll give it to you first because it just happened.
Ooh,
so after he passed away, I got this random DM. Because listen, Jeff and I and that's one thing that I love and respected about him so much, is that we both just put everything out there, regardless if it makes us look bad or not. And I think that's what people connect with us on. I mean, listen, I always tell people I have a show called No Filter that, like, how do I then filter any parts of my life out? So then when you have a show called Disaster Dares, you have to put all the disasters out there. And so it's wild because this guy DM'd me randomly a few weeks after Jeff had passed. And and it was the strangest thing. He's just like, hey, so, I would DM Jeff from time to time because I'm currently dating one of his exes. And it was like a toxic ex. And he's like, and I'm caught on the same loop that Jeff was caught on with this guy and blah, blah, blah. What advice do you have? And I'm like, this is weird. Like, is his body even cold yet? Like, what is, like, this is really awkward. But like, hi, nice to meet you in the DMs. And let me help you solve your toxic situation with this, And I know the ex, and the ex is wild.
Right.
I was like, my best advice is to get away from the dude. Like, just like walk away.
Right.
You're never going to fix him as much as, I call myself a property brother. Give me a good fixer upper. And I'd love to fix you. And then you can leave me as they often do.
Okay.
And so then that was the last communication I had with him. And so that died down. But then I decided every time we go into a new season, I always get back on all the dating apps and try to go on as many dates as I can and like get back into the sport of it, right? We're in practice, we're gearing up for the Super Bowl. And so I matched with this guy on Tinder, and we, casual small talk at the beginning, and then he's like, I've been meaning to, take you out or to go out to coffee with you. And I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, I've been wanting to for a while now. And I was like, oh, interesting. I go, how do you know me if you've been wanting to take me out for coffee for a while? And he's like, oh, this is awkward. I was the guy that DM'd you those couple months ago after Jeff had died about the toxic ex. And I was like, oh, so then wait, did you match with me because you want to go out with me, or did you match with me because you want more tea on this toxic ex that you think I have or whatever?
My God.
And he's just like, no, I really did want to go out with you. And, we should set a time, like, let's grab coffee. And I was like, okay, let's grab coffee. Let's do it. And so we went to coffee, and then half of the conversation was talking about the toxic ex, and then the other half of the conversation was talking about Jeff and like the details of his passing, which was just like so weird for a date. And then I was like, okay, well, we got through the therapy session. We talked through all of that. The second half of the date's going to be better, right? Well, then we talked about this other guy that he's seen, and he's scared about, like, should I pursue this guy? And I'm a little nervous, and here are all my dating issues, and here are all my red flags. So it ended up just me being, like, giving him a therapy session the entire time.
Oh, my gosh.
And then I left, and I was like, well, what did I gain from this whole experience? And then he texted me the next day. He's like, I had a really great time. Thank you so much. I was like, yeah, I'm sure you had a great time.
It was all about him. Yeah.
And he's like, I hope I don't make it on Disaster Daters. I was like, well...
And now you've made it on Dating Real Talk.
And Disaster Daters too.
Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of the dating apps, I have a question because I think I saw one of the older episodes where you were talking about meeting people in real life and that you were saying it's not so easy and you don't like it as much. Yeah. So tell me more about that, because we talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I just feel like, especially in LA, like everybody is so not real. Like they have their guard up, and everybody in LA only wants to talk to you if they can see how much they can gain from you. So like, they're like, what do you do? And then immediately when you tell them what they do, then they're like, okay, how can I use this to further my own career or to further my own ambitions? And so that just becomes challenging. I mean, I would love to, like, ideally, like a rom-com, just kind of like fall in a Whole Foods and somebody catches me.
Cute moment.
Yeah, a meet cute. But like, meet cutes are not real. I don't know anybody that's had a meet cute.
I don't either.
I do.
Oh,
because that's what I help people do.
I know. Okay, Kimmy, you need to help us, because I've never. I don't know of a single
never
one.
had a meet cute.
Yeah.
But also, I know that, like, in public, and Jeff and the guests that came on the show would always tell me that, like, I don't give meet cute energy. I give, like, don't talk to me energy.
Give the resting bitch face on. Yeah.
Listen, because when I'm, like, at Whole Foods, I'm not looking for somebody to, like, fall in front of. And, like, then if I do, how embarrassing. But, like, it's more of just, like, I'm on a mission. Like, I have to get from one point to the next. And I'm, like,
Well, no wonder you're not having the meet cute moment. He's probably like right next to you in line.
I don't know.
Okay, so we're going to work on this. Anyway, we'll put a pin on it.
Help me find the quinoa, honey.
Yeah.
Well, no, but this came up at my dating retreat last week, and we were talking a lot about just like meeting people in real life and like in the wild, and everyone says the same thing. And they came from all over the US. So it's not just an LA thing too. Like it's just people have a hard time just putting themselves out there and smiling and making eye contact. And those are the things that invite that energy in.
Yeah.
So it's an epidemic, right?
Yeah.
And the pandemic didn't help at all with that.
No.
So our social muscles got atrophied, right?
Yeah, everybody's autistic now. Like, nobody has social skills. Like, you smile at somebody, and then they're like, why are you
what's
smiling?
wrong?
I'm trying to be nice.
Exactly.
Like,
I'm from the
accept
South.
my smile, damn it.
Agreed. Yeah. That's like me in New York. I'm like, hi. Like, not anymore, but like when I first got there, because I'm from North Carolina, I go to New York. Hi, good morning, hello. And they're like, oh my God, ew. And you're like, what, do I have cootie? Like, you don't even understand.
Turn it down.
So I had to learn to be like, oh, you act like a bitch. I act like a bitch too. Okay, this is how we're doing this. So I was trained.
Yeah, you have to out-bitch each other.
Yeah.
So then we just have a bunch of bitchy people out there, right? Like, so nobody...
we don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care more than you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't
I'm
care.
gonna one up your care and see you another care.
Exactly.
Well, this is the problem, and I always say, like, everybody has a responsibility and approachability. It's not just like one person. Like, someone has to be open for business and the other person has to approach.
Yeah.
Right. So it takes two to tango. And I think, like, we're kind of in a stalemate society where no one, so then everybody's relying on the apps, and then it becomes the swipe culture.
Yep.
So here we are.
And then with swipe culture, I feel like it then becomes like limitless option or endless options. So you always, even if you find somebody that like maybe checks 8 of your 10 boxes, you're like, oh, that's great, but maybe I can find somebody that checks 9, and maybe I can find somebody that checks all 10. And so it's that constant, like, there's always going to be something better out there.
But the one that checks all 10 is trying to sell me crypto, so.
Yeah.
It's happened to me twice now.
Yeah. Well, it is. Everyone's like checking a list. And what I was talking about on an episode before is a lot of things that are on the list are things that either we don't want that our ex had, or things that we desire that we haven't had.
Yeah.
Right. And so if there's like one thing off, you're right. Like we just like, oh, well, what's next? You know, I'll just go to that person kind of thing. So there's no sticking power.
No.
To the relationship. So, okay, I don't know how we went down this rabbit hole, but I always do that.
I
somehow.
love it.
But because this relates to what I want to get into. Obviously, we're going to tie in the reality stuff because there's a ton of shit there. But I was wondering about, just like you were saying that you were having some dating challenges. What are some of the challenges that you're seeing out there, just in general, or maybe even on the show when you were doing it?
I don't think people know what they want.
Yeah.
I think people are afraid to ask for what they want, or afraid to ask themselves what they want, I think is a really big one.
Ding, ding, ding,
and
ding,
so
yeah.
a lot of it, you know, and I've even said, I know my biggest red flag is that I've never been in a relationship. And so I kind of have to reveal that card when I go on a date. But I'm like, listen, there are 2 reasons why. One, I came from absolutely nothing. So I was very ambitious in my 20s, and I had great guys that like wanted to fly me on private jets and like would have given me the world, but I needed to prove to myself that I could stand on my own 2 feet. I didn't need no man. And so now I look back, I'm like, if only I would have just taken the fucking private jet.
God, I relate
for
to that.
the weekend, you know? And so I had to just prove to myself that I was trying to prove to myself that I could be stable and self-sufficient and not need anybody financially or emotionally. Like I wanted to be all of that for me. And then I reached a point where I was like, oh, well, I've achieved everything that I needed. I hit all of those benchmarks. And a lot of it's just the inner self work, right? And then the other piece of it was like, I knew too many people, especially in LA, that just date for the sport of it. And like, we'll just get into a relationship because it feels comfortable or safe to be in a relationship, but there's no long-term compatibility. And I'm not going to enter a relationship if I don't see a future there. If I'm going to enter a relationship, I want to make sure that this is going to go somewhere and not just go because it feels fun in the moment.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and actually we were talking about Love is Blind and I was kind of breaking down because I went on a news segment. We're talking about, I call it the 4 C's. Like there's a difference between something that's compelling, something that creates chemistry, something that has compatibility, but then how do you compromise it all? Right. And so that gets tricky, right? Because there's different people in different stages and different ages in life. And I love that you just were vulnerable to what you just said, because I think so many people have guarded hearts, you know, and to, you know, where we come from and then how that affects us, you know, moving forward. Did you find that a lot of people who went on your show had some element of that, like where there was like past trauma or the way that things showed up?
Yeah. I mean, I think there was always, and what I loved, you know, in those conversations is we were all able to kind of relate to them in some way, because I think we all have the same baggage that we come to the table with. There's always something that happened at some point, or somebody that broke our heart, or some internal, you know, insecurity that we have. But that's what I love about the show too, is it's like we put it all out there and so many people find pieces that they can relate to in their own lives, that like if more of us talked about these things, we could learn and grow through it together. And so I know sometimes I can be like a wrecking ball on a first date, because I come in and I'm like, this is me, this is who I am, here are all the cards on the table, let's talk about all the taboo stuff, so that if you're gonna get scared off, you get scared off now rather than down the line.
Well, he has no filter, so there you go.
I don't want to wait for date 4 or 5, and then we, you know, you learn something that you don't like, and like, you know, we wasted all that time.
So like, let's say we were on a date. So like, what does that look like? Like, what would you say to me?
I mean, like, I talk about everything, like parental relations. Like, I want to know about marriage, kids. What's your relationship like with your family? What's your relationship like with your kids? What are your politics? Where do you want to live in 5 years? Like, what does all of that look like? I want all the cards on the table so that I can determine whether or not this could go somewhere at some point.
Oh my God, Zach. Okay,
This is
go ahead.
usually I'm half joking, but like this is usually red flag
Efficiency.
behavior. Because if a man was doing that to me, I would be like, honey, whoa,
I know.
slow down.
I'd be
This is barely a meet
scared.
cute.
Can we just see if
That's
we
why I
like
don't have
each
a meet
other?
cute.
Maybe that's why I don't have a boyfriend.
I'm like, listen, we got an hour, 90 minutes. Okay, and then in my head, I'm like, okay, 5 minutes for this topic, and then we'll shift, and then by 30-minute mark, we have to hit this topic.
Is this
I'm
a
such
job
a
interview?
podcaster.
No, I feel like you're podcasting with the guy.
Yeah.
Oh
That's what's
my God,
happening.
you're
I've done it
doing
for
like the
so many
beats.
years
You gotta
that
turn it
I.
off.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay,
Oh my
so we
God.
gotta change
No,
this.
he's got to date another podcaster that shoots it right back. You know what?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But when two podcasters interview each other, it's like you can't stop like asking each other questions. You're like, is this my show or your show? You know what I mean?
Well, right, and then you get into interrogation, and that's not fun or flirty.
I've been told that I've interrogated people on dates.
Okay, you're the interrogator.
I'm like Diane Sawyer.
Oh my God.
Where were you the night of?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna work on flirting.
Okay.
Okay.
That's how I flirt.
And then, I don't know if
What is
people
it,
get
negging?
that. Negging. But what about just like telling stories? You know, you have so many stories, and you're so amazing that like just like have you ever just tried not like I challenge you actually the next time you go on a date,
Okay.
don't do any of that. Like just share stories and have fun and just see if there's a connection.
Okay. I'll do that tonight.
You
I'm
have one
going out tonight.
Oh, do tell.
There's this guy.
Okay.
And I'm testing it out. It seems fine. There's
it new?
compatibility. It's,
Okay.
we're seeing where it goes. So we'll see.
Yes. And you don't have to know.
We're going with the flow. Yeah. I
That's the
I
thing.
have not scared him off, and he's,
He already got
gotten through
the
a lot of,
interrogation.
he's made it through, and so I think we'll see where it goes.
Wait, how many times have you met?
This will be a second date tonight.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Kimmy,
mean,
what
we've-
is your advice? I love this.
Yeah, we've talked for a while, but finally went on an official date. It went well, and so now we're.
Where was the first date and where's tonight?
The first date was a rooftop in downtown that I
Okay,
picked,
I like.
and then second date, he's gonna tell me where. I told him your turn.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Does he know your location now so he can say like close to here or close to where you
Yeah.
live? Okay, good.
Yes.
So that's kind of a test to see if he picks somewhere that is close to where you are, which I
Yeah.
always like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it gonna be convenient for me or convenient for you?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See, I think about everything.
Oh.
No, I think that's a good thing
OMG.
to think about.
Yeah. Well, okay, but then the pushback is because I always bring this up with people who don't know because I love this. Do you
What?
know the definition of flirting in the dictionary?
No.
It's fascinating. So,
Okay.
because I teach this in my flirt workshops, it's to behave as though you are attracted to someone
Okay.
without the serious intention of an outcome.
Okay.
And right, so but everybody like kind of filters themselves or worries about what's next and where is this going instead of focusing on the playfulness and what is. So you're very outcome oriented. I
Yeah.
hear that,
Yeah.
yeah, and you've had to be, and that's been part of your past.
Yeah.
So wondering if you just let go of that.
Not good at letting go.
So we'll work on that.
But that's how I get good results is by being in control and driving to get to the outcome.
Correct.
Efficiency is my strength.
It is. And it's served you in so many areas like business and stuff. But the things that serve you in one area doesn't necessarily serve you in others.
Okay.
So and I'm just going to put my therapy hat on for just a second. But really what anxiety is the unknown.
Yeah.
And if you've grown up in a situation, and it sounds like you have, where you just didn't know where like the next penny was coming from or where anything was going to be or what was going to happen, you create controlled situations in your life that's predictable. So that eases the anxiety. So even when it comes to relationships, right? Like you're like, I'm going to like ask all the questions. I'm going to lay it out on the table so that I feel in control. But in essence, what happens by doing that, then you're shutting people out. It's a little bit of a self-sabotage.
But then at least I know the outcome.
Because you made the outcome.
Yeah.
Right.
Problem solved.
Well, Kimmy, you've coached me on this too because, you shared with me, you have like your fun, outgoing Allie vibe, and then you have your business vibe. And so we always give messages back and forth. She's like, oh, I can tell she's in business mode. Like, all right. And then she's like, well, I hope you don't.
Your voice goes like this. You're like, Kimmy, okay, so what we're going to do in the podcast today. I'm like, wait, Allie, what happened to you? Her voice goes low.
Yeah. And then you said, I hope this isn't how you are like in the wild. And I was like, gosh, I hope not too. So, I try not to be, and I try to be in my fun, flirty Allie mode, but sometimes it is. It's just like, well, let me get some information that I need to get. Okay, go through. And it's not even a checklist, but it's like, let's go through these things to make sure there is going to be another, whether it's a second date or another meeting if it's in a networking thing. But you could say, I know you've said the same thing about networking, so I'm quoting you. It's like, go into networking, instead of saying, what do you do? Immediately ask a more interesting, curiosity-driven, fun question to get them talking about something that lights them up other than business or job, which may or may not light them up, but it's another way to make a connection where you have something in common before you go into like the check boxes or whatever, if you're going to work with this person or if you're going to date this person. So you've definitely taught me like on that. So I try to keep my voice light. Did I just go low? I don't even know.
You started to, and then you brought it back up.
Okay.
You brought it back up. I don't know, Doug, if you heard that in the mic. Like she could, we could play this back and see that we have evidence now.
No, but all my clients are constantly like telling me what I need to do, and I do go into that mode. I'm like, okay, step one, we're gonna do this. I guess I go lower. I'm not like step one.
Yeah. But see, that's so cute.
Will I get paid more if I go with my higher voice?
Yeah, actually, so there was research done. Well, and this is for women. I'm not sure if this is, across the board, but they found that women who are more flirty in the workforce actually, like, they went up in salary. They got hired to higher positions.
Yeah. So you're saying I should sleep my way to the top.
Yeah, well, I said, it's the twirling of the hair.
I twirl the hair to the clients.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's get into the pop culture of things, because it's a bittersweet kind of, the Golden Bachelor has had the finale. I'm very sad. So I don't know if you know this, but Allie and we've been just dissecting every episode. So we do a play-by-play of what happened in each episode, and she kind of brings her opinion, and then I, from a therapist standpoint, see what I see. And so we had a watch party.
Okay.
And we had even some of the last Golden Bachelor contestants from first season there. And it was super fascinating just to hear kind of the behind the scenes and what was happening. But I was wondering kind of your take. Did you see it?
No.
You didn't watch that one yet? Did you watch the other Golden Bachelor? The first season?
I saw pieces of it, with Jerry.
Yeah, well, it's Gary, but it should be Jerry, the way it's spelled.
Yeah, the way it's spelled. Yeah, he had a book that came out, right? Didn't he write a book?
Yes, and it's getting a lot of controversy.
Yeah, he's been a hot mess, yes.
He's been but so is Teresa. Like, it's been both,
Which, see, no matter how old you get, you can still be a hot mess.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, it does not discriminate with age. Absolutely, because I am of age, and I see the dating that's happening, and it's a disaster in all ages, right? And the things that show up. But my question, because now that this is done, like, I'm just curious on your take. First of all, why are the love shows so popular? Like, in your opinion, like what makes it so?
I think the hook is the aspirational part of it, right? We like the same reason rom-coms were so popular. It's like we wanted to find a love story that we can root for.
Yeah.
And then I think in watching it, we either find things that we can relate to, or we realize some of these girls are batshit crazy. So it makes us feel better about ourselves, which is most reality TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so which show do you think that Allie and I should talk about next? Do you have a favorite?
I mean, Love is Blind
love that one.
People love Love is Blind.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like the old school reality, like Flavor of Love, Rock of Love, like those old shows from like VH1. That's like that's what raised me. That's the TV that raised me. That's why I'm so chaotic as an adult now. Those are
what
the
you were
shows
raised
that raised
on.
me.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Those were your role models.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I feel like, and then have you seen Married at First Sight yet? That's an interesting.
I have seen Married at First Sight. 90 Day Fiance. Have you guys gotten to 90 Day Fiance?
I've not done that yet.
That's a really popular franchise.
Okay.
I think you would love to dissect that one.
That might be a good one. Okay. Yeah, we have so many ideas. And it might be like all of them.
Yeah, why
right.
not?
And popcorn, different ones, and
Yeah.
rom-coms. And I just finished Nobody
Wants This. So
oh,
good.
so cute. Did you
So
see
cute.
it?
I loved that show.
Obsessed.
Oh my God.
That's what you should is watch like the rom-coms that we grew up like loving.
Yes.
Dissect them and like find out how they fucked us up.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there are so
Totally.
many messages that we
Yes.
got.
Yes.
You know, we're gonna walk in the middle of the street and our heel's gonna get caught and we're gonna fall and then a man's gonna come out and save us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and if you think about the culture in the 50s, like Leave It to Beaver, you know, kind
Yeah.
of thing. And then like you can see with each decade how the roles have changed and the rules have changed with dating. So
Yeah.
that is, yeah, I like that. Okay. So we're going to play a game.
Okay.
And I know you like games.
I love
that.
games.
I know. So the game is called Dating Disaster or Dating Dream.
Okay.
Okay. And so I am going to give you, well, I had to make my own because the ones that I ordered from Amazon did not come. So on this side, it says disaster. And on
Okay.
this side, it says dream.
Dream. Okay.
Okay. You get one too.
Okay.
So I'm going to read just little like scenarios from different pop culture reality shows. They're all dating and love
Okay.
related. And you guys vote whether like disaster or dream and then
Okay.
tell me why. And
Okay.
then I might have a couple things to say about it too.
Okay.
Okay. Ready? He gives you a ring on a string. Do you know what that's from?
Is that
Allie wrote this one.
Tom Schwartz.
Vanderpump?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It depends on the ring and the context. I mean,
Ooh.
Wait, you have to.
oh yeah. Well, I'm trying to think.
Okay,
I'm trying
okay,
to,
okay.
okay.
He's undecided.
I'm going to say in my head it's a very nice expensive ring. And I'm gonna say dream because at least it's thoughtful.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna say disaster.
Mm-hmm. I'm going with disaster only because this has kind of happened to me where my boyfriend gave me a ring. And, you know, when girls get a ring, they want it to be the ring.
Right.
And he gave it to me at Christmas in front of all his family. And I was so confused. So I was like, are we?
Was it a promise
Oh.
ring?
Yes. And so then he said, oh, it's a promise ring.
I don't like promise rings. Disaster.
Exactly.
Oh, I have a question
So-
about that too.
So then I was like thankful. I was like so grateful. I'm like, thank you. Like it was so sweet. And then we talked about it. He's like, I don't know. My sisters told me to say promise ring. I don't know. And I go, get me some earrings, get me a necklace, but never
Yeah.
get a girl a ring unless
No.
it's the ring.
I agree. I changed my answer. I agree. She sold me because
Yes.
another piece of jewelry, but not a ring because a
Yes.
ring is deceiving. And don't give me a fucking promise ring because if you give me a promise ring, what are you promising me? We should already be the relationship itself and the commitment should be the promise. Don't propose to me ever. But I'm good. I don't need.
But
to get
he does
married.
want a cute meet moment, so
Yeah.
we can start there.
Oh yeah, give me a
Yeah.
ring in Whole Foods.
That would be good, actually.
Yeah,
I like
I'm
that
stocking
idea,
up on
stocking
bone broth. Oh, surprise!
Well, and it's funny because actually, that was a question. So, spoiler alert: Peg and Mel from The Golden Bachelor. It ends up being a promise ring.
Right.
I hate promise rings.
Agreed.
Oh, okay, so what about? Let's talk more about that. What about it? Don't you like? Both
It's
of
a
you?
non-commitment commitment.
Yeah.
It's like a half-ass
It gives
engagement.
nothing. If
Yeah.
you get a ring, it's a commitment to be married. What is the promise ring? A promise ring is a commitment to be engaged, which is a commitment to be married. So don't give a ring. It makes
Yeah.
no sense.
But
What-
even then, the engagement's not the marriage yet. Like the
Yeah.
engagement
Mm-hmm.
is the preface to the ceremony, which is the commitment to the forever.
I'll tell you when you can give me a promise ring. When I'm 15 years old. Other than that,
Yeah, because
nothing.
you're not getting
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a fun
Yeah.
thing that you're doing as
Mhm.
kids.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the only time it's appropriate. I stand.
Agreed.
So what I will say is that, I mean, and this is just where modern dating is that I see that most people feel like you guys if they haven't been married yet, or they haven't had like kind of that marriage that they wanted kind of thing. It's interesting because Mel and Peg seem to be on the same page. Like they decided
Yeah.
That's what they wanted. So like, is it different if both parties want it?
In their case, they had 5 weeks to get to know each other. So
Right.
fine, you don't need I'm not saying he should have given her a diamond ring, but he should have given her a necklace. That's all I'm saying.
So like a different kind of jewelry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, they went into this experiment knowing what
Yes.
knowing what this was going to lead to. Whether, like, you knew it wasn't like a shock that you were going to go in for 5 weeks and then surprised we have to make a decision. You knew that you were going to have to make this decision regardless.
Yeah. Well, so this is
He
something that I
didn't.
learned. Well, this is something I learned from one of the Goldens.
Oh.
She told me that actually the producers tell them that they don't necessarily have to get married, that it could end up in the way of a promise ring, but they highly encourage the engagement.
But all the women go on the show thinking that.
Yeah.
But yes. And some don't.
Well, also, you're not at that age. You're not going to get a promise. Like, you're going to lock it down.
Agreed.
Not always.
Well, and
Time is of the
but
essence.
that's what the whole point of Cindy. That was Cindy's
whole point. Yes.
Yeah, and then
she wanted it,
yeah.
but Peg didn't necessarily
That's
want
true,
it.
yeah.
So that's why it worked, for them. So it's just interesting. I don't think there's a right or wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's up to the couple. But the commitment part, I agree with all.
Yeah.
But
I
a
mean, it has
promise
to be.
ring is a half commitment. It's not even a full
It's
commitment.
lazy.
It's a lazy commitment. And also, if you're in a relationship, you're already committed at that point. So what does the
Exactly.
ring signify?
Agreed.
Well, to Allie's point, would it change if it was a necklace? Like if it was a different kind of jewelry and saying this is
Just give a piece of jewelry with no promise. Like, we're already in a relationship.
Yeah.
Give me a gift.
Yeah.
A gift that's
Yeah.
like, I'm celebrating the time that we've spent together.
Yes.
I look forward to what's next.
You're special.
You're special. I
yes.
thought of you.
Agreed.
Here's a Cartier bracelet.
Or Tiffany. That matters. Okay, the next question. He can hang a TV in under 7 minutes.
That is really attractive. I'm going to say Dream.
I agree.
Because he's handy.
I like handy people.
Yes.
And I like
Dream.
Sheena.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a no-brainer. I don't have to go into that.
Okay.
Dating your therapist who knows all your childhood trauma, general fuck-ups, and loved you anyway.
Sounds like a dream. Sounds like a dream. You already
Really?
know me. You already love me.
You say disaster. Okay, so why you disaster?
Oh my God, because I'm afraid. So I know why you say dream, but I'm afraid they'll use it all. First of all, it's very unethical, right? But besides that,
Love that.
they use it all against you. So in my experience, and this is obviously why I'm single today, but they've taken the deep traumas that I've shared and turned them around and used them against me. So weaponized it. So no, therapist, bye-bye. Like now I share very little when I used to be an open book. So those narcissists have changed me. Okay?
Good point.
Well, and honestly, it's a big no-no as a therapist. Like
Yeah.
you really aren't supposed to. But like what came out in the show, it's true too, is that then she ended up not knowing anything about the therapist.
This is from Nobody Wants This.
Yeah, nobody wants. And
Yeah.
she, right? And so then she's like, well, but I mean, that wasn't my role. You know, she was like getting all that. But then how does it get reciprocal and reciprocated when a role has been established where it's a little more like a hierarchy? You know, how does it get more even? You know, so the boundaries get blurred a little bit. So that's my take on that. Okay. Oh, this is a good. He serenades you with the song Simply the Best in front of your friends and family.
Schitt's Creek, yes.
Biggest dream.
So cute.
That was the cutest thing ever.
I mean, who doesn't think that that's not cute?
I mean,
my
it's a little
God.
cringe, but yes.
Yeah.
Well, oh my God. Well, the funniest thing is Moira, the mom, when it happens, she goes, let me know to David. She goes, let me know if I should pull the fire alarm. She's horrified too. And then it ends up being adorable.
Yeah.
But it could be cringe.
Yeah.
But he did a good job. So it's cute.
Okay. He buys you a boob job as an apology for cheating.
Sure. First of all, he can afford it. Great. Second of all, like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't need to be a boob job, but just, you know, that's not a cheap plastic surgery. If you're going to invest in that, yeah, I'm down.
What did you say? Disaster.
Disaster. Because I know it's about Jackson and Brittany. That's all.
Okay, so I don't know the show.
No, I know.
So I just have a question. Is that something that she wanted?
Yeah.
Was it? I don't
Well,
remember.
She wanted it to please him.
I mean, she wanted to be on reality
Oh,
TV, so yeah, she wanted to look her best. So yeah.
Well, wait, but that's different, right? She wanted it to please him or wanted it for her. So that would
Not
be
for
the
her, 'cause she just got him taken out. She just did now.
Yeah.
Okay. So to me, that's the difference. Never like do anything for somebody else. And that shouldn't be like, I agree with you with what you said.
I agree
Okay.
with you.
You've been dating for 5 weeks and he gives you a promise ring. We already did that one.
Oh yeah.
Saying yes to marriage just to avoid rejection.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Married at first sight. I don't know. Like, what do you think of the whole premise?
I mean, in a television world, it's incredible, but like
Right.
Yeah.
not healthy at all. At all. So bad.
Well, it reminds me, I mean, there's cultures that do that, right?
Yeah.
Like in the Indian culture and still some of the Asian culture, and some of them are still happily married, and so I think there's just differences in the way that they connect. I mean, on the flip side, they grow into each other, right?
Yeah.
And there's no other distractions.
Yeah,
in
I
some
feel like
ways.
divorce, and I'm curious what your take on it is, but I feel like divorce has made people less committal, so they're less willing to put the work in. Whereas a lot of these
100%.
relationships,
Yeah.
These people that have been together for 30, 40 years, like they only got there by having to go through some of those hurdles, but they went through those hurdles knowing that like there was no way out of this. So they
Yes.
made it work. Whereas
Yes.
now I
Yeah.
feel like and that's just our culture in general. Any little inconvenience is like, oh my
I'm
God,
outta
I need to
here.
break up with them. I need to quit my job. I need to do this. Like, we've become so self-important that we try to avoid any minor discomfort without realizing that like discomfort is part of life. And sometimes we have to work through that discomfort to get on the other side. And that comes with relationships as well.
100%. No, I say that all the time. There was a client I was working with, and she almost did this. Like, she just had a pretty traumatic relationship right before this other guy, and he did one thing that triggered her because it was a lot like her ex, and so she's like, "Oh no, I'm out of here." And I said, "Have you talked to him about it?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, no, this is a sign. I'm not going to do it." Like, to your point, she was just ready to bolt. And so I mean, I'm so happy I was still coaching her. I said, "No, you're going to hit it dead on and you're going to talk through it and talk about how you're feeling and check it out with him." And it was so good for her, and they ended up working through it, and it was a total misunderstanding, and they're still together today. But it was that pivotal moment where it's like, do I swipe him away?
Mhm.
So that is really, really true. Did you have anything to add to that?
No, what he said, what you said. I agree with
Yeah.
you guys.
Okay. Oh, yeah. This show. He says, "I love you" before he meets you. I mean, it's
I'm gonna say disaster.
disaster. Well, and honestly, like, bring it to the real world. Like, how many times do you see this where people just like jump into, "I love you so much"?
Yeah.
Like, do you think that there's a certain time frame that should happen? How do you guys feel?
I don't know. I feel like I think that's more of like an infatuation of like you're just so into each other and it feels so good. And it's all the, all the oxytocin, all the endorphins are
Endorphins.
going off,
Yeah.
and it's that hit. And so I think that's not the healthiest place to be in, because then your judgment is a little clouded.
Yeah. It's like I love the idea of you
Yeah.
and the idea that I have in our head, but that has not been proven by reality
Yeah.
yet.
Yes.
I love who I've made you out to be in my head.
Yeah.
Is what it is. But
Yeah.
they don't love
Mhm.
you. They
Yeah.
just love the idea that they've created of you. And I think when you jump into that so early on, then once you get to know the person, then that's when you realize, oh,
Yeah.
I don't really like you. Or when people are not themselves up front, I think that becomes problematic, because then
yes.
down the line, once they get to know the real you,
Yeah.
and then they try to throw well, you've changed. And it's like, well, no, it's not that I've changed. It's just that I didn't show you who I was at the beginning. So that was kind of a hinder
Yeah.
for both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I call that shape shifting.
Yeah.
Oh.
You shape shift into what the other person wants to see because you're really good at pleasing others and,
Yeah.
people
and
pleasers
doing
do
that.
that.
Yeah.
That
But
makes
to your
sense.
point, then it's a disaster in the end.
Yeah.
And like, you don't know me. It's like, well, you didn't show me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah. Well, And I think Love is Blind was, I mean, this season, you watched the whole season of this one?
Not the most recent one.
Oh, the Denver cast? You didn't see that one? Oh,
No, I heard
I
heard it's wild.
Yes. Okay, so we'll have you back after you, you watch this because it's really interesting. Just the end result is, not good. But see, that's what Love is Blind hovers in the chemistry phase.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like, of course, everybody loves each other. To your point, I mean, they're going on vacations. They're connecting in a very emotional, deep way behind the walls. Like, it's almost reversed because there's this, like, you know what it reminds me of? Kind of like in church when there's like confessions.
Yeah.
And there's something about the wall that allows people to say more almost, which is interesting. So then they fall into that almost like trauma bonding or vulnerability, but then they haven't paced it out in a way that's healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. I know we're almost at the hour. Oh my God. How did this happen already? Okay. He plans a flash mob for you at a food court in public.
No. That's a hard line for me.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
No.
dream. That's so funny.
No, that is a hard no.
Because
Cringe, embarrassing, gross. What are you doing? Get away from me.
don't dance around me. And why is it?
And in front of other people? Like, no.
Thank you for the grand gesture and showing everyone that I am your number one and I'm amazing.
I don't like grand gestures. Grand gestures make me uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah.
What about that makes you uncomfortable?
I don't know. It's just like weird. Like, I think weddings are cringe. I don't want a wedding. Gross.
Oh.
Who the fuck wants to get married and be like, I love this person. I'm going to kiss this person. Like, it's just cringe.
That's a hot take.
That is a hot take. Yeah. But because you don't like the spotlight on you?
No, I love the
you
spotlight.
love the spotlight.
That's why I'm so confused because you're like loving the spotlight.
I don't know. It's just weird in a relationship situation. Like, it's just weird.
You feel like it should be more private.
Sure.
Sure-ish.
I don't know. I think, yeah.
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 Like, yeah, we'll leave it at that. Falling for someone, but realizing your life stages don't align. We kind of talked about that before.
Yeah, disaster.
Yeah.
It's tough because if you're not on the same stage, it's not going to work out as much as you want it to. I don't think it's realistic.
Yeah.
Agreed. Timelines matter.
Yeah, timelines. Well, and The Golden Bachelor had that theme all over the place. Like people were in such different stages and what they wanted, even to the point where Peg and what's the other one? Cindy. I always forget her name. Cindy. Yeah, they were totally different like desires and what they wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. I want a juicy one, maybe a funny one. He forgot to file the marriage certificate after your wedding.
He doesn't even want a wedding. So.
No, that's going to be a disaster. Then it just shows that he's incapable of doing things when needed.
Tell him sure it's everyone.
Yeah.
Do you think, okay, he has a new girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think?
He seems happy.
Yeah, good for him.
I saw him in Vegas. He seems happy. He's been on Disaster Daters.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see if it works out. But like, he seems to be in a good place, and he,
Good.
I don't think he knows what he wants.
Ah.
But he's having fun.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the fun, flirty phase.
Kimmy,
But maybe that's all he wants. And that's okay.
And that's okay.
You gotta watch the whole show, Kimmy, because you could
Yeah.
do such a good deep dive on him.
Okay.
We'll talk about this on another episode.
Okay.
But, oh my god!
All right, I'm excited. Wait,
Yes.
do we have any questions?
So
I feel like
I can't see them on the phone, but I see them coming in
Oh
here.
my gosh.
So we'll answer them next time, I promise.
I don't know if Doug can see any of them. Do you see any of the questions on there? And I don't know if I know that there were some.
Well, last time I could see them on the phone, and now I can't. I don't
Yeah.
know why. So.
Well, do you have any questions in the meantime? Any dating questions? You can do like laser coaching.
Okay, let me think. Where can we meet people IRL in LA on a Thursday or Friday night without the apps?
I mean, Well, you know my answer's everywhere, but I'll get more specific.
Okay,
Because
that's
my
true.
belief is that people are everywhere. You just have to really like open your eyes.
Like
and,
Whole Foods.
I did the gym,
The
and
gym
I
is
slept with
great.
so many people at the gym. It didn't work out.
Maybe
But I
it's a
started
pacing
going to a
issue.
run club.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I'm like
cute.
so competitive that then I like don't want to date you. I want to run faster than you.
Oh no! Then
I'm
it
very
becomes
competitive.
competitive.
Ugh, I love it.
Do you like a guy who's competitive?
As long as he's not as competitive as me, because I'm gonna win.
Oh.
So if they want to
in
win
it
too, it's not
it.
going to work.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I mean, it's fun until it's not.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth
And
for
that's when
everything?
they break up with you. Got it.
And scene.
Yeah, I think it's easy to meet people, but I think like to the point you made earlier is like you have to. It's all about your approach to it.
Yeah.
I think you can meet them anywhere though.
Yeah. Irwan is really great because the aisles are really close together.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that they did that on purpose so that people would have more of a community type of feel. But that's a hot spot for sure. And Whole Foods is always. But I do this thing with my clients and I build like social plans with them, like business plans, so that they put on their calendar all these different like things that they can do that relates to their interest. It could be a class, it could be an event, but I have them go out one day a week, like they're going to the gym to exercise their social muscle, but it's very intentional. So like every Wednesday at 5 p.m., they have to go to a bar and talk to at least 3 people. So I gamify it.
Okay.
So that's a way of doing it. So you could start that tonight.
Yeah.
I'm excited about your date tonight.
Me
Yeah,
too.
so am
Will you let us know how it goes?
I will.
Are you going to do the hair thing?
Probably. I think I do it naturally. I naturally am always touching and playing with my hair. So I probably a trick that I've used without even knowing it.
I know, exactly. It's subconscious. Well, anyway, Zack, it's been awesome having you on. Please, like, is there anything you want to plug and tell everyone where they can find you and all your shows and your products? You have products?
Yeah, I mean, you can just follow me. I'm all over the internet. No Filter streams 5 days a week. Disaster Daters will be back come Valentine's Day. So
Yay.
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I was super excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for listening. This has been Dating Real Talk. And Allie, do you have anything that you want to add as we close out?
No, I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you, Kimmy, for having me. Again, we started out this whole thing where Allie was just going to co-host episode
I
1.
know, and I keep
here we
counting
are.
you.
And I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful to have Zack. I'm a super fan of yours. I'm one of your paid Supercast members, so I'm just really excited to have you. And I'm Allison Melody TV on Instagram.
Yeah, and you can catch us live every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific. And remember, keep it fun, keep it flirty, and most of all, keep it real. Bye.
Bye.
Ching, ching, ching.